You would have seen about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, a mob called Houthi, which is an Iranian-backed mob in Yemen, seized a ship that was owned by an Israeli but was leased out to the UK. They went on this ship and took all the people on board hostage, none of whom were Israeli, by the way, but that was the first sort of incursion of this war into territory that did not relate to Israel, or, was in the Red Sea, which is an important trade route through there. But they were taking people who were not Israeli. Well, now they've gone after an American warship. Now, the US Central Command has come out and said these attacks represent a direct threat to international commerce and maritime security. They have jeopardised the lives of international crews representing multiple countries around the world. We also have every reason to believe that these attacks, while launched by the Houthis in Yemen, are fully enabled by Iran. The United States will consider all appropriate responses in full coordination with its international allies and partners. Now, the only small problem here is that the US, of course, is still giving money to Iran. And Iran then gives that money to mobs like the Houthis that then go and attack US warships. I mean, we've unlocked what it's about 15, 16 billion in the last 2 months alone for Iran. Yeah. We know the role they are playing in the war between Gaza and Israel. It's now coming towards the US itself, and I think we had last week a spokeswoman or man for the White House saying, we get attacked by Iran sometimes, but there are days where we don't, so it's okay. It's not actually that bad. What is it going to take for the US to either pull the money or retaliate? Because surely, in terms of public opinion in the US, you can't continue to allow that to happen. Surely it gets to a point where people say they are coming for us with our own money.
And pulling the money is the most rational retaliation right now. OK, you're not firing on anyone, you're not dropping any bombs, but you're saying, excuse me, we keep giving you money, honouring God knows what deal the US is making, and this is what you spend it on, OK? We also know that you're funding the war, the war that's going on in Israel and Palestine. You're funding this terrorist group. Enough's enough. I mean, how not difficult is that? I don't get it. It's almost like an insult to one's intelligence to just be like, hey, you keep bombing our stuff, so not going to sponsor you anymore.
And the point is they keep bombing American assets. They keep hijacking or attacking ships. As you mentioned in your introduction there, 3 weeks ago, the Galaxy Leader, which is owned by one of Israel's richest men, leased to another organisation, but it was hijacked by Yemen jihadis. 25 crew taken hostage. Those people are still hostage. It's been 3 weeks now. That's another weird thing about this whole situation. We've not heard a word about them. I think 17 of them are Filipinos. The president of the Philippines didn't go to COP28 because he's got citizens right now being held hostage. So he stayed home. Here's some of the vision of when the Galaxy Leader was boarded via a helicopter by Yemen jihadis. And the world's kind of forgotten about these 25 innocent crewmen who right now are being kept from their families in Yemen. God knows when they'll be released. America are not doing anything about protecting them or indeed their own warships, so we can expect to see more of this.
What was the purpose of that? OK, this is not an Israel-Palestine thing anymore. You've just captured people, none of which are Israeli. So what's the point here? And you guys are from Yemen. I mean, obviously, kissing cousin, but whatever. Like, are no conditions being given? Like, if you want these guys back, this is what we want, etc. and so on. You would think that it would suit Iran more to keep this open hand that the US keeps giving them, regardless of the trouble that they're making. Worse than trouble. That was a terrible use of word. The complete horrific chaos they're creating. And yet they're happy for this to continue, obviously, because none of this happens without their say-so.